Hey guys, what's up? Rob Mods here. Hope you're doing well. It has been a few weeks, but finally it is time for Gem Guides Part 4. So in this one, I want to talk about transferring over gold to gems. So it's the opposite. We've been talking a lot about how to get gems, but now we're going to talk about the flip side and how to get gold with gems and the most efficient way to do that. So obviously the last couple of weeks there's been a lot going on in game. Tier 10 dropped, things look a lot different. Also King's Caprice has been going on. So market looks super messy and we don't really know what it's going to land on long term. And so even like some of the stuff I talked about in previous guides, for example, enchantments and like selling gear with certain enchants to try to get more gems and stuff, that can't happen anymore because enchants are not allowed in market anymore. So obviously as things progress and change in game and new things get released, then gameplay is going to look different, these guides are going to look different, that sort of thing. But we can talk about a lot of this stuff now and just the general idea, and then you can look into what the current market looks like and figure that out for yourself. So with tier 10s, one of the biggest considerations is that they take a ton of energy to surcharge, 16 to 1700 generally. So a lot of people are not getting enough energy to surcharge these. They're just selling them in market at like base value or under. And so that is actually a really interesting element to this now, because before I would have said, okay, tier 9s, normal. If you look at this, there is a ton of them at 2 gems, 2 gems, 2 gems, 2 gems. But they were selling for 700k each or something before tier 10 dropped. So one of my biggest recommendations for this guide as I was planning it out was to say buy tier 9s for 2 gems, sell them for 700 to 800k, make 300, 350, 400k per gem. Easy, simple. You don't have to think any more than that, right? But now that market looks a lot different, I don't know what that's going to look like long term, because now you're only getting 250k per gem. You could also go on the tier 10 side of things, and I've seen quite a few tier 10s at, like, let's say 2 gems instead. So it could still work, 2 gems for 729k. Obviously some tax off of there unless you're selling it in your own shop. You could just sell it in your own shop. I believe this is closer to 600k, maybe a little bit more without the gold value increase if you haven't crafted 40 of them yet. Normal high value things like this may actually be a really good option for you to transfer over. Let's take a look at enchants really quick as well. So occasionally you'll see these at 2 gems, but normally they're 3 gems. So if you buy one of these for 3 gems, sell it right back, you're getting 750k for that sort of thing. So this is going to be a really quick way to make your money back, and you're going to get, 300 to 400k, something like that for each gem. But something that I think is going to be a lot more viable in terms of like total gold that you're going to get, although it's not going to be as reliable and as quick, I guess, is, let's give this for example. So this I just crafted not too long ago. So 19.4 million. So that at 350,000 for each gem would be what, 60 to 70 gems or something like that on average. So we can assume that if we're keeping consistent with like the normal tier 10 items, which are 2 or 3 gems each, then that's what we're looking at. But look at that. You're looking at half. So even if I put that on for 36 gems, I would only be getting 28 back. So 28 gems or 19 million gold. That's obviously a huge difference. It's not 300k. It's like well over 500,000 for each gem, right? So an option would be, say, buy this for 35 gems and sell it for 19 million gold. Now I can't guarantee that that would sell anytime soon or for that much value. But if you do get flawless or epics and you find them for really cheap gem value but a really high gold value, that can be a way to transfer over gems to gold, where you buy it for really cheap gems and sell it for a lot of gold. I mean, the reality is that at this point in the game, everyone just wants to get gems so badly, and everyone's making so much gold that they don't really care so much. Like, we can even look at the chest side of things, and you can do 5 gems for 1.4 million. So that's similar. Spend 5, after tax you get 1.3 million or something, and you're still looking at about 300k, maybe a little bit less than that. per gem that you're spending. If you're a lower level and you don't have access to tier 8, tier 9, tier 10 items, I think chests are still a good option. Like if you have access to the tier 4 stuff, which you should by like level 30 or whatever, or lower than that. So pretty much everyone should have access. A lot of the time these will go down to 5 gems, or you could even request it, let's say for 4 gems and get it filled. And then these are going to sell instantly for 1 million. So if you're able to request this for 4 gems, sell it for 1 million, even at really low levels, if you really needed the gold, you can get 250k per gem anyways, right? Like people want gems so badly, they're gonna spend a ton of gold to get them. And you basically just have to find your best bet to be on the other side of that. You just need to find a good way to get that gold for yourself. So if you're thinking in terms of, okay, how do I get as much gems as I can with this much gold, you just have to think on the other side of that and say, okay, which items would I be using? So whether it be chests, whether it be normal tier 10 items, whether it be normal enchantments, whether it be even like epics and rare items, a lot of the time I'll see items and it seems crazy, but like 500, 600, 700k gold per gem, and all you need to do is buy that for as few gems as you can and just try to sell it for a lot of gold. And a lot of the time people are willing to pay that much. Let's look at enchants really quick with more rare ones. So here we're looking at 19 gems, 6.9 million gold. Like if you look for the good deals and are willing to take the time to sell these, like some of these have no gold prices at all, so you could buy this for 17 gems, put it up for 7 million gold. After tax you get 6.3 million or something like that. That's over 500, well, close to 500k, not quite over, but close to 500k gold per gem. So you can use like pretty much any of these. The hard side is transferring gold to gems, because everyone's trying to do the same thing, and sometimes it's difficult to find things that are actually going to work inconsistent and not cost you a ton. Transferring gems to gold is the easy part. You can pretty much do it anywhere that you want. People will want your gems really badly and they're willing to pay for them. So you just have to figure out the option that's going to be best for you, that you can get as much gold as possible for the gems that you want to transfer. Another thing I think is worth considering is whether you're going to be buying the item and selling it in your shop, or whether you're going to be buying an item and selling it back to market. Because if you're selling it in shop, sometimes you can make, a little bit of extra money from that if you can surcharge the items that you're buying. Like I wouldn't say, like this item for example, if I can get this for 2 gems, it's not 795k per gem after I surcharge it, because I could buy that item for 750k in market right now. So it's only, 375k per gem, not 800k, because you could buy it with gold. So that doesn't really make sense. But you know what I'm saying is that if I'm willing to spend 10 gems, get 5 of these items and surcharge them all and get 16 million out of it, that's pretty crazy. Although I could just make half that profit by buying it from market and selling it in shop anyway. But you know what I mean. I think another thing to consider, and this is going to be the last thought that I have for this guide, but when you're crafting and let's say selling items in market, like I just crafted these mountain man mitts, I know I'm going to get a lot more than just double value from them. So if I put 1, I can either do 10.5 million gold or 22 gems. So if I'm more looking to just make as much gems as I can, then I'm going to sell this for gems and not even really think about it. But if I'm working market a lot, transferring gold to gems, gems to gold, and it's more of like a fluid thing of me just trying to get as much value as I can out of an item, then I'll kind of look at this and say, which is actually the best deal for me? Which one makes the most sense? So if I'm selling for 21 gems and I'm only getting maybe 18 or 17, 16, okay, so only 16, or I could sell it for 10.5 million. Obviously one is well over 500k per gem, and you could do the same. You could buy this for 21 gems, sell it for 10 million, that's 500k a gem, easy, done. But I think when you're on the other end and you're actually selling the items that you have, you kind of have to look at that ratio and decide, do I want gems, do I want gold, is this a good ratio, and what makes the most sense for me with my current goals in terms of how I'm going to profit from that item. So for me personally, just to give you an example, if I'm going to put in this and I've got 19.4 or 37, I think nobody's really going to buy that for 19 million gold. I think it's just because it's a chest item, and these are pretty rare. But I would rather just get, 30 gems or something. But these mountain man mitts, I know from previous experience that people are buying these for 10.5 million consistently because people would rather spend that. And this for 16 gems or 10 million, I think I'd much rather that. So that's what I'm going to do. I know that those are going to sell pretty quickly. I think this one's going to take quite a bit longer to sell, but it totally depends on what you want to do, what your priorities are, what the ratio you're getting, and you can just make that call from there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, comments, things that I missed, even any new stuff that you've found or found out about or have been using to transfer over your gems to gold, I would love to hear it. Not that I'll share it publicly if you don't want me to, but just love talking about that stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great day, great week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.